I always thought I would be the first person my son called, no matter what. After all, I raised him with sleepless nights, endless patience, and countless sacrifices. I knew every scar on his knees, every fear he ever whispered, every joy he ever celebrated. My voice was his safe place. When he got married, I smiled. I was happy for him, truly. I told myself life would change, yes, but love would remain. I convinced myself that our bond was too strong to break. But slowly, in ways I didn't notice at first, things began to shift. Memories of the past. One evening, I found myself sitting on the edge of his childhood bed, running my fingers over the covers he used to sleep under. His toys, carefully boxed away, were stacked neatly on the shelf. I remembered the nights I stayed awake when he was sick, the endless hours I spent comforting him after nightmares, the countless meals I cooked to keep him healthy and strong. All those small sacrifices that had once defined my place in his life now felt invisible. It wasn't that he didn't appreciate them, it was that he had simply forgotten they existed. I folded his old clothes that evening, my fingers lingering on each garment. Memories washed over me. The tiny shirts, the worn out sneakers, the pajamas he refused to wear, the drawings he had made for me over the years. Each piece was a fragment of a bond slowly fading away. I realized then that marriage had not only changed him, it had changed us. And I couldn't stop it, no matter how much I wished I could. The first sign was small, a delayed text message, a shorter phone call, a voice that seemed a little distant. I told myself it was nothing, just busy days, the excitement of his new life. I smiled to hide the unease growing quietly in my chest. Mothers are experts at hiding worry. We make excuses for the ones we love, even when our hearts whisper that something is wrong. I thought, he's happy, and that's what matters. The silence hurts. The holidays were the hardest. I prepared food he no longer came to eat. I set an extra plate at the table, almost out of habit, even though I knew it would remain untouched. I watched the door, waiting for him, for a knock, for a familiar laugh. But the house stayed quiet. Each missed call, each unanswered text felt like a small blade cutting into my heart. I kept telling myself not to feel hurt, not to feel abandoned. I told myself it was his life now, and I had no right to intrude. But the silence was deafening, and it hurt in ways I could not explain. Not because he had changed, but because the bond we had shared for so long seemed to be slipping away quietly, without even a word. Accepting change. I still answer the phone with warmth whenever he does call. I never mention the silence, never ask why. Because love, for a mother, is learning to accept less without loving less. I pray for him every night. I remember the nights I stayed awake, praying for his health, his happiness, his safety.